Do you have a Jason Bourne?
Wonder if you've seen.
He is.
2 years pass after the bloody chaos of the first film. Bourne lives a quiet life with Marie on the beach in Goa, India. He tries to stay invisible. But the nightmares never stop. Every night, he wakes up in cold sweat with violent memories, sudden headaches, and flashes of skills he never chose to learn. In Berlin, new CIA Director Pamela Landy personally runs a secret operation. She plans to pay $3 million to buy a classified file about a CIA money theft from 7 years ago. The meeting takes place in a crowded public area to avoid suspicion. Everything seems controlled until a professional assassin appears. He cuts the power, plants explosives, leaves fake fingerprints, then kills both the CIA agent and the informant with precision. He escapes calmly with the money and the file. The next day, the killer delivers everything to Russian oil tycoon Yuri Gretkov. The deal is a trap. The objective is clear. Frame Jason Bourne. The final step is to eliminate Bourne himself and close the story forever. In Goa, Bourne and Marie enjoy a fragile peace. They live simply and avoid attention. While shopping at a local store, Bourne instinctively scans the crowd. He notices a man watching him with cold focus. His training kicks in instantly. He knows the man is a hunter. Bourne turns back and rushes Marie into the car. A brutal chase explodes on the narrow country roads of Goa. Marie drives at full speed while Bourne studies their pursuer. He realizes Treadstone has found him again. Before he can act, a single shot breaks through the window. The bullet hits Marie. The jeep swerves, crashes through the barrier, and plunges into the river. Bourne fights the current and tries to save her, but her body slips away. He watches helplessly as Marie disappears beneath the water. From the bridge above, the assassin confirms the vehicle is fully submerged. He assumes Bourne is dead and reports the mission complete. Back in Berlin, police recover a clear fingerprint from an unexploded bomb. Database analysis reveals a disturbing result. The print belongs to a Treadstone operative. At Moscow airport, Yuri meets the assassin, who works directly for CIA Deputy Director Abbott. They believe the loose end is gone. Bourne survives. He crawls out of the river, injured and alone. He burns his fake identities, keeps only Marie's photo, and lets his grief harden into purpose. He chooses revenge. At CIA headquarters, Landy faces pressure over the failed Berlin operation. She uses the fingerprint evidence to secure Level 5 clearance and reopen the Treadstone files. Her investigation exposes financial records linking former Treadstone head Conklin to large unexplained transfers. With Conklin already dead, Landy confronts Abbott. He resists, then admits Treadstone was a covert assassination program. It was shut down after Bourne vanished. Abbott claims Conklin lost control and made mistakes. He insists everything else died with him. The truth goes deeper. 7 years earlier, the CIA approved $20 million to bribe a Russian politician. The money was stolen internally. When the politician threatened exposure in Berlin, he was murdered and framed as a domestic crime. Landy's deal was meant to secure proof, but Abbott sent a hitman to destroy it and pin everything on Bourne. Abbott orchestrated the entire cover-up. Bourne resurfaces in Naples under his real name, forcing the CIA to react. Landy argues the Russian politician was killed by a CIA assassin. She claims Bourne is responsible and suspects he worked with Conklin to steal the money. She believes Bourne returned to silence her investigation. At the Naples consulate, agents detain Bourne, underestimating him. Within minutes, he disables the agent, clones his phone SIM, takes cash and keys, and vanishes into the city. When Landy contacts the consulate, she learns Bourne has escaped again. The CIA escalates the alert. Jason Bourne is declared armed, highly trained, and extremely dangerous. The hunt resumes. Bourne escapes once again, and the CIA director reacts with open fury. He orders Pamela Landy and Deputy Director Abbott to work together and eliminate Bourne at any cost. By tapping into a cloned SIM card, Bourne overhears details of a massive manhunt being prepared in Berlin. He realizes someone is deliberately framing him and immediately heads to Germany to uncover the truth. Before the operation begins, Abbott brings back Nicolette Parsons, the former psychological handler from the Treadstone program. Landy quickly realizes Nicolette is a critical link because she had direct contact with Bourne on the night Conklin died. Landy forces Nicolette to join the operation in Berlin. At the command center, Nicolette explains that Treadstone agents never act without a clear objective. She also states that Bourne no longer follows orders from anyone except himself. Bourne travels to Munich to locate another former agent, Jarda. Jarda panics, believing Bourne has come to kill him. He insists the program has already been shut down and claims Conklin is dead, leaving only a few survivors. Bourne demands to know why he is still being hunted and mentions Landy, but Jarda offers no useful answers. When Bourne momentarily loses focus, Jarda attacks first. A brutal hand-to-hand fight erupts inside the apartment, with both men fighting to kill. Bourne ultimately strangles Jarda using a wire. To erase his trail, he turns on the gas and stages the scene to look like an explosion. After escaping, Bourne heads to the train station, retrieves his hidden emergency gear, and begins using public phones to call Berlin hotels one by one. He successfully tracks Landy to the Westin. Using the front desk as a distraction, he waits until Landy leaves her room, then quietly tails her to the CIA's temporary command center. From a rooftop across the street, Bourne assembles a sniper rifle and takes position. His intent is clear. He wants answers, and he is prepared to avenge Marie. Inside the command center, Landy divides the investigation into separate teams when her phone rings. Bourne contacts her directly and accuses her of killing 2 people in Berlin. The conversation takes an unexpected turn when Landy reveals that Bourne's first assassination occurred in Berlin and involved a Russian political couple. The realization shakes Bourne and disrupts his focus. As Landy moves during the call, Nicolette suddenly appears in Bourne's scope. Bourne realizes Nicolette holds the missing truth about his past. He proposes a deal. He will reveal himself, but only if Nicolette comes alone to Alexanderplatz within 30 minutes. The demand throws the command center into chaos. Abbott calls it an obvious trap and argues Bourne should be taken out by a sniper. Landy strongly disagrees, believing Bourne is not lying and that this may be their only chance to expose what really happened. Landy decides to take the risk. She orders snipers into position as a contingency plan. Alexanderplatz is crowded with civilians, and a large parade disrupts surveillance and security coverage. Following Bourne's instructions over the phone, Nicolette moves through the crowd and boards a tram. The CIA team and snipers assume Bourne is on the tram and scramble to intercept it, but the move turns out to be a calculated diversion. In an underground passage away from the crowd, Bourne confronts Nicolette directly. He demands to know why the CIA is framing him. Nicolette explains that Landy is investigating a murdered agent and that the fingerprints recovered at the scene point directly to Bourne. Bourne counters that he was in India at the time he was attacked and when Marie was killed, making it impossible for him to be in Berlin. Under intense pressure, Nicolette finally reveals the truth. She identifies Deputy Director Abbott as the key figure behind the framing. Abbott was Conklin's superior and the man responsible for shutting down Treadstone. Nicolette also reveals that the intelligence trail involves Conklin and a Russian politician named Nevsky. Hearing the name triggers buried memories in Bourne's mind, memories that feel vivid and real. Bourne presses Nicolette for confirmation about his presence in Berlin, but she insists his official files show no record of it. Bourne realizes his records have been altered and that someone intentionally erased parts of his past. Trusting his own memories over corrupted files, he lets Nicolette go and disappears deeper into the tunnels. Meanwhile, Landy's team begins monitoring Deputy Director Abbott through internal surveillance. Sensing danger, Abbott quickly contacts Landy and paints Bourne as a mentally unstable threat. He strongly suggests that killing Bourne would be the safest solution. Landy pushes back, convinced Bourne is trying to reveal something important. Abbott's frantic attempts to shift blame only increase suspicion. Soon after, Zorn takes Abbott to the power room and presents a critical discovery. An extra detonator has been planted deliberately, confirming the existence of a cover-up within the agency. It is clearly not Bourne's style. The crime is a deliberate setup designed to look sloppy and emotional. Abbott pretends to be shocked in front of his colleagues, but his real role is now fully exposed behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Bourne digs through old online reports about the Russian politician and his wife. He studies dates, photos, and police summaries. He traces everything back to one hotel and one specific room where the murder occurred. He travels there and tries to book the same room to confirm his suspicions. Room 645 is already occupied, so he settles for the adjacent room, 644, staying as close to the past as possible. Minutes later, the front desk receives an updated wanted notice. The staff recognizes Bourne's face from the photo and alerts the police immediately. By then, Bourne has already slipped unnoticed into room 645. The moment he steps inside, the layout triggers buried memories. The furniture placement, the angles, the exit points. Years ago, under Conklin's direct orders, this was the site of his first assassination. The target was the Russian politician, Nevsky. The plan was clean and controlled. Then Nevsky's wife appeared unexpectedly. To complete the mission, Bourne killed them both and staged the scene as a murder-suicide. Police units begin to surround the building. Bourne escapes through a window, moves across ledges, and is cornered several times. He is eventually forced underground into a subway station. He sprints through crowded tunnels, vaults a fence, and leaps onto a boat along the river. As the boat passes under a bridge, Bourne fires a grappling hook onto a beam, climbs along the steel structure, and reverses direction. He slips back into the subway system, leaving every pursuer behind in confusion. Back in room 645, Landy examines the scene in silence. She understands why Bourne came back. He was not running from the past. He was reclaiming it. Piece by piece, she assembles the truth. Bourne killed Nevsky. Nevsky's wife was not the target. She was an innocent victim who died only because she walked into the room. News soon reaches Landy that her assistant, Zorn, has been found dead. The timing confirms her fears. Landy orders her team to contact Abbott and instruct him to wait at the hotel. She wants a direct confrontation with no intermediaries. Panicked, Abbott calls his former Russian partner, oil tycoon Yuri. He demands Bourne be eliminated immediately or their theft of CIA funds, used to buy oil fields, will be exposed. Yuri listens calmly, then says their business is finished. He hangs up without hesitation. Moments later, Bourne steps out behind Abbott. He already knows the full truth from Nikki's files and records. He is not there just for revenge. He is there to close the loop. Abbott admits that killing Marie was a mistake. He says Bourne should have been the real target all along. He tries to shift every crime onto Bourne and provoke him into pulling the trigger. Abbott keeps pressing, calling Bourne what the program made him. A killer shaped by design. Someone who cannot escape what he is. Bourne resists. He remembers Marie and what she believed. He releases his anger. He leaves the gun with Abbott and walks away with a recording that exposes everything. When Landy arrives, she finds Abbott alone. He points the gun at himself, claims he acted out of patriotism, and takes his own life. By then, Bourne is already on a train to Moscow. He wants to find the daughter of the politician he killed and confront the damage he caused. The CIA tracks his movement quickly, and Yuri sends a hitman to stop him before the truth spreads further. In Moscow, Bourne learns from an old woman that the daughter has already moved away. As he asks for the new address, the taxi driver suddenly leaves after receiving a phone call. Bourne senses the threat and slips into a narrow alley, but the assassin spots him. As the assassin raises his weapon, Russian police flood the area. Bourne escapes into a nearby store, grabs socks and high-proof alcohol, steals a taxi, and disinfects his wounds while driving. The assassin steals another car and continues the chase. Police vehicles join in, turning the pursuit into chaos through the streets and tunnels. Eventually, Bourne loses the police. Only he and the assassin remain. Their cars crash inside a tunnel. Bourne steps forward but does not fire. He sees the truth clearly. The man in front of him is just another pawn, trapped in the same system. At the same time, the CIA receives Bourne's recording and hands it over to Russian authorities. Yuri is arrested, and the long-hidden conspiracy finally comes to light. Bourne finds the politician's daughter, Irina. He tells her the truth without excuses. Her parents did not kill each other. He killed them. Her father was meant to be alone. Her mother appeared unexpectedly, forcing him to change the plan. The truth is painful, but it is real. Bourne apologizes and walks away, carrying the weight of his actions but no longer hiding from who he was. Weeks later in New York, Landy receives a call from Bourne. She thanks him. The recording officially closes an old CIA case. She apologizes for misjudging him and finally gives him what was always denied, that his real name is David Webb, and with that the story ends here. The movie shows that you cannot escape the consequences of your past actions, even if you try to live a new life. It teaches that taking responsibility and facing the truth matters more than revenge. It also shows that choosing humanity over violence is the real path to redemption.